Hi.
We are here finally. You know what it is? We have a new way of coming to you. It is called a Nevo. And it's a teeny tiny camera. And Brittany's working it off the side and she can do different shots and it's just crazy. It's better than what we were doing before.
I know, I'm excited to actually watch it when we're done.
Let me know how it looks because I'm not going to watch it. And
why not?
Lauren's on the phone just looking to see when comments come up because we can't tell anymore because it's not on the laptop. So she's going to be monitoring all your comments and she's going to turn down the sound so we don't get
I was
really
just going to say, I can
awful
actually
echo.
hear it.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah, okay.
How do we look? Pretty good.
We're frozen.
Oh, we're frozen. Awesome. Okay.
Okay.
So we are talking about jumping up. Oh, wait. We should talk about the obvious.
What?
Missing Nancy.
Oh.
You know where Nancy is?
It's her birthday!
Happy birthday,
Happy
Nancy!
birthday! Yay!
The big 4-0.
Sparks, sparks, fireworks.
Yes, so exciting. So she has the day off. And she's partying and doing fun things.
I've always had the day off for my birthday.
Have you?
Well, not for like work or anything, but like my birthday's in the summer. So I never had school or whatever, so.
Mine's in the summer too.
Yeah.
But I've never taken the day off on my birthday.
No.
Maybe we should do that. I don't know.
I don't think I took the day off either. I think I was, I don't remember.
I like teaching,
Been
so
here a long time.
and I always need to know what's going on.
That's
So
true.
asking me to take a day off is really hard because I'm like so nosy.
I'm going to check when my birthday is because
I know, I'm thinking about that too. I hope
Yeah.
mine's on a Sunday because I don't teach on Sunday.
That's true.
Anyway, our topic today is jumping up on people, which I think that's besides housebreaking, that's one of the biggest things we get asked about. Like,
Yeah.
literally every day, my dog jumps up. Sometimes they say that when their dog is jumping up and they're petting them,
Right, that's the best.
which we hate to break that to them.
Yeah, because they just think, oh, the dog wants to be pet, or but you don't really realize that when you're petting the dog when it's jumping on you, it's getting rewarded for jumping up. So then why is it not going to do that to, grandma or the kids or whoever? So
Now, we're not complete meanies. Like, I will teach my dog to jump up on command. So once they're through puppy, once they're through adolescence, especially because I do competition with the dogs for obedience, I like a dog to jump up, but I ask them to up. And if I don't say up, you need to not jump on me. And when I say off, they go off. So, and sometimes we have students with service dogs, and right away we will teach the dog to jump up on them, like for a comfort thing. But in general, it's better to not teach them to do that until they understand not to do it on their own.
right, because then what if you have that dog that's really smart, right, that offers you everything? You're like, what about a sit? What about a down? What if I jump up on you? And you're like, oh,
Right.
catch you off guard.
And it's funny because we talk about this all the time, that other dogs will teach dogs to stop doing things that annoy them, like that, right?
Yes.
But people have a harder time, I think, because it's a consistency thing.
Yeah, or they don't really realize that they're rewarding the dog, like you said, the petting,
Right.
or even pushing the dog off of you and saying, no, but that's what the dog wants. The dog wants your attention. So,
And there's 2 stages of what you need to do for jumping up. So you're either in management with no training, so that's a new dog or a puppy, or your dog is trained, and then you use all your training commands, like
Right.
sit down and play. So we are going to run through a couple common scenarios for you and talk about what you should do.
yeah.
So the first one is, this is the biggest one, people come in the house and my dog jumps all over them. So we got tons of ideas for
I was
you.
going to say, so
All right,
many
you
things.
start. How much time do we have?
Yeah, right. Well, the first thing is why isn't the dog in the crate, right? If you know that someone's coming over, your dog, and you know the dog is going to jump up and you don't want to deal with it, the dog should be in a crate or in an X pen,
Correct.
right? Confined with a bone, something. Now, if you know that someone's coming over and you actually want to work on it, right, then you should have a leash on, you should have treats ready, and hopefully that person is going to listen to all of the things that you have to say. So
Because
you
there's
can do
people
anything.
training involved.
Well, yes.
And some people are going to listen to you and some people are not. And you have to know who's coming to the house. So if it's a bucket full of children to have a
don't
play
even
date,
bother.
forget about it.
Yeah.
Your untrained puppy, make sure they potty before the kids come over and then give them a nice time in the crate with a frozen Kong or something, whatever. They're going to be happier. If you feel like you need to take your dog out for training, again, have it on the leash and maybe do stand on the dog, where you put your foot on the leash and the dog has about 4 inches between where it connects to their collar and leash.
Do you know how many times that I've taught class and I'd be like, oh, did anybody teach you stand on the dog? And they're like, what? Stand on my dog? No, I would never do that. I'm like, no, you stand on the leash. We don't actually want you to stand on your dog, but you're
There's
like,
people with little dogs.
their eyes go like,
They
oh my
panic.
goodness, yeah, they panic. Like, I'm not going to stand on my dog. I'm like, I don't want you to stand on your dog either.
And then we tell them to sit on their dog.
Oh yeah.
Which is when you sit and then you stand on the leash, right? But you're sitting in a chair, you do the same thing, and they go wild about that.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. We like to see the reactions.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do it for a response. If they're sleeping in class, that wakes them up.
It
Now
sure
we're going to
does.
stand on your dog. What the hell?
They're like, wait a minute. It's not what I signed up
But
for.
sometimes they say, can we stand on our kids? And I'm like, that's a whole different class.
I don't
Much longer
specialize
course.
in children.
No. Or spouses. So those are some things that you would do if people came to the house. Now, what about the unexpected doorbell?
Oh, the doorbell.
You have to go and like sign for something. We hope that your dog, when they're with you, is on a leash and you're supervising.
Mm-hmm.
So they run to the door with you. You can step on the leash and do stand on the dog.
Mm-hmm.
I also like a tether spot by the front door. Like if you had stairs and a banister, you could preload a leash on there and just let it live like that.
Yeah.
And then you could quick tether your dog and then deal with the people coming in.
Yeah. I went to a client's house and they had that, which was great.
Oh, do you have a question? Ryan can see, and Brittany can see what's going on.
Sorry. Every time I click on it, it's
What is it? What's the question? Do you see it?
How about for small dogs? I get jumping being a problem for big dogs. Is that something I want to correct on a 4-pound dog?
Okay. So I don't want any dog to jump just because I feel like it's out of control, right? But I would ask them to jump up. Like I would teach that behavior. I like all my dogs to sit. So I had a rat terrier and she was about 10 pounds. She too learned not to jump. But then she was often asked to jump up by my daughter, but that was okay because it started with a sit. I feel like when a dog sits, it means please. I feel like the dog is engaged. I feel like they're in front brain. I feel like they're being thoughtful. But when they're jumping around and bouncing and all that crazy stuff, I feel like they're not being thoughtful. And then for you to tell them something important, like place or down, it wouldn't get through to them because they're in a state of like, wow! And I want them in a state of, what are we doing next?
Right.
And so you can totally teach it to the small dogs. It's just, I think that what happens is small dogs jump and people don't read it.
Well, people think that since it's a small dog, I don't have to worry about it because what's my 4-pound dog going to do? But if I have like a 75-pound dog and it jumps up, well, then that's a problem. But I still feel like no dog should really jump up, right? Like, what if someone's really scared of dogs and this little dog is like, hey, jumping up and petting me? And, it's always easier just to have.
Or the day you have something nice that you're wearing, or somebody else has something nice that they're wearing. Or like you said, being afraid of dogs.
Yeah.
I also want to make the point that when you're sitting on a couch or the floor, that jumping is the same to a dog as when you're standing. So a lot of times, and this happens in class, people will be sitting and we'll be talking, the dog is on them with their feet on and they're petting them. We talked about this, I think, last week. And that is a form of jumping. So if your feet are on me, that's jumping.
Absolutely.
And I will invite you up when you're older, but until you know the rules and you're pretty consistent, I'm not going to teach you that at all.
Right.
How about on a walk?
Jumping on a walk, or meeting new people on a walk. See, there's so many things I feel like that that can happen during a walk.
So when somebody comes up to you, oh, can I pet your dog? If you decide to say yes, and you don't always have to,
right?
You could stand on the dog,
right? You can feed treats. You can let the dog go see, and you can feed the dog treats while somebody's petting the dog, right? Which I feel like is always a good thing to do.
Right, or a pile of cookies on the ground, and the person's petting, and they're not even noticing. What you really want to do is devalue other people. Which sounds kind of rude, but you know what I mean.
Well, yeah.
I want all the value to be in you. So if your dog is like, oh my God, other people, yeah, I love other people, I would be crying because that would mean my dog thought so little of me that he couldn't wait to get to everybody else.
Yeah.
And I think you create that because every living person who sees your dog, you let them go see them. So no, I don't want that. My dog sees another person, I'm suddenly even more interesting. I'm like, hey, you want to play a game of tug? Or let's do sits and downs or something like that. So I engage them with me. Another thing you could do is have a friend meet you on a walk, and they keep walking by your dog, and when they walk by, your dog doesn't pay attention, you feed them, you praise them, and you sort of again desensitize the dog to the people. Yeah, because I don't want them to be like magnetized to people. It's so annoying.
Yeah, I don't want them to think that every person that they see, that they can just blow right by you and go see them.
Right. We were just talking about Marie was here with Cooper today at the school, and she was talking about how we've trained Cooper, and when he sees people or dogs, he just like keeps going on his walk. Cooper's a big shepherd, and he knows what his job is. You're on a walk and you're with Marie and she's awesome, so you don't need anybody else. And that's really what I want the dog to get to.
Yeah.
And then some people say, well, it's a therapy dog. Well, first of all, therapy dogs cannot jump.
Right.
And you can construct a dog to look like they want to see people. So we do that all the time. We say, go see, and the dog knows to go up to a person. But it isn't that out of control thing.
Or you can actually, since you just said that, having them go see or whatever, I thought of hand targets for greetings, which is my absolute favorite, I know we're not talking about greetings, but to prevent the dog from jumping up, teaching them a really solid hand target. And then when you go out on a walk, if someone says, oh, I want to greet your dog, just be like, oh, you can put your hand out, the dog can touch their nose to their hand, and then they come right back to you. So it's, fun and engaging for the person, and your dog is learning, okay, I'm going to go touch that, but I'm still coming back to you.
Because the delivery
important.
of the reward comes from you.
Absolutely.
So the person is just something to touch,
right?
But they want to run right back to you to get the awesome stuff that you're going to give them. So hand targets, awesome.
Yeah, and the person thinks that, they're, oh my goodness, I helped with training.
Yeah.
Or like if it's a kid or something like that. So I like
yeah,
that.
and sometimes if you feel like the people can't put the instructions together, you can show them. So do this and let the dog do it for you, because sometimes they have to see it.
Yeah, or maybe they'll think it's too much and they'll walk away, which is funny too.
Even better.
Even better.
You don't have to let your dog greet everybody. I'd like to have that on a banner on a plane flown across the country. They don't have to greet everybody. Your dog is not a social vehicle for you. And they don't want to greet everybody anyway. And we also find that a lot of times if you over socialize, then the dog sees people and goes, oh no, they're going to touch me.
Right.
And they can get fearful and they can get reactive. It's just, you just don't want to do that.
Yeah, especially for puppies that are actually learning and trying to figure out, what's going on with people or new things or all that stuff.
It's like if you had a baby or toddler and everywhere you went, you said to every person, can you touch my kid? Like,
yeah.
Seriously? No, they're not going to like it and they're going to be upset. And you're going to be in for years of therapy.
Yeah.
Same with your dog. Now, then there's the other component of jumping up, and that is people. People who say, I don't mind if your dog jumps on me. But
I do. Yeah, I mind. Oh my God. Those are saboteurs. Is that what you call them?
The saboteurs.
Yeah. No, I said that I don't want my dog jumping on you. I have to live with the dog. You don't.
Right.
I don't want my dog to jump up. And, you have to either explain that to the person and let them understand that, or you can't see my dog.
Right, and because to a dog sometimes means always.
Right.
So they're always like optimistic. Oh, it's a gray area, so maybe today, and maybe today. And no, absolutely not. We just want to teach people. And you can do it like, I had a student who got a new puppy, and she emailed the people before Christmas dinner, like a week before, and said, hey, you're coming to my house for Christmas. It's so amazing. Here's my puppy rules.
Did she?
Yeah,
That's
2 people
great.
didn't come, but she was okay about it.
Yeah. Seriously.
I still have that letter. It was amazing. She just said, here's what we're going to do. Here's what I do, and don't undo it. And here's what you can do. And it was really great.
Yeah, and like you said, dogs don't generalize. So they're not going to be like, well, I can jump up on you, but I can't jump on this person, but this person's okay. So they need to learn that every single person is not an option.
The rule is the same.
Yes.
Every stop sign you come to, you know you have to stop. Same with the dogs. Every person they come to, they cannot jump.
Absolutely.
Now, if it's a trained dog, the options are endless.
Yes.
You can do so many things. Sit is a big one.
Down.
Place.
Yep. I was going to say place at the doorway. So we were talking about if somebody comes to the door, you can just send the dog right to place.
And if you have a really advanced place, you could take off your jacket and throw it on the ground and tell your dog to place, and then have a long conversation with whoever you want to talk
Absolutely.
to. And place is great when you're picking up dog poop too.
Yes.
Right? You could just, I have had people put down an empty, I have to say empty, poop bag on the ground, tell the dog place, and then turn around and pick up the poop. So, see, training is awesome. You cannot live in management. I feel like we say that all the time.
Yeah.
Too many people spend a long, long time with their dogs in crates and tethered, and oh, we forgot about tethering to you.
Oh, right.
You can tie the dog to your belt loop around your waist.
Yes, you can.
And then, you have a quick way to grab them or grab the leash.
Absolutely.
But you can't stay in management. It's cheating. Now, I know if your life circumstances changes, like you break your leg or something happens in your life, that's management, right? But push on when things get better to real training, because it's like this greatest freedom ever.
Yeah, and you always say you want to have that dog that everybody wants to have around. You want it to work in real life situations. You don't want to have to stare at the dog and tell it to sit, or you don't want to live in this training lifestyle. You want it to be like, I want to be able to be home and tell my dog to down and walk away, or down and do the dishes, or go to place and go to the door. So it's important to work it in those situations.
And the advanced students in our classes, we let the dog run towards something they want, and we say sit down or come. And that is kind of when the dog is running towards people, right? And I've done that with Indy. Indy's playing in the yard, and he's running towards the fence because he sees somebody on a walk going by the house. And I say, sit! And he does. And it's so cool.
It is
And
cool.
sometimes you're like, I've been doing this my whole life, and I still think it's cool. And the people maybe don't even look, and you're like, oh, I wish you would have seen that because that was really good.
Yeah, you're like impressed with
But
yourself.
it's
like,
that control, and that control gives your dog more freedom. The freedom to be around more people, the freedom to be free in the house, the freedom to go more places, and that's the whole goal. To give you the dog that you wanted to have when you decided to bring a dog into your family.
Mhm.
And that's really important because a lot of
Absolutely.
people show up and they're like, I didn't sign up for this crap.
Yeah.
But we can fix it, and it's not that hard.
It's not.
All right, anybody else we need to talk to?
Yes. Kim says, my pup is 10 weeks and I say wait while he sits and waits for food. Would this work to keep him in a sit for other situations?
Yes and no. So it's a pattern to wait for food, right? And probably in that situation, it's not really exciting.
Mhm.
And I feel like people want to transfer that little trick to bigger and more exciting things, but there's some steps in between. So what I would do is I'd have a handful of kibble, and if I wanted my puppy to wait in a more exciting situation, I would drip feed, meaning I would just like push little pieces into the dog's mouth like we do at class, and then build up to it. But the good news is, if you keep going with this, you will have a dog that you say sit and wait and does not jump.
Yeah.
But right now, a 10-week-old baby, you're going to have to do a little more work with it and a little more managing. You can also stand on the leash and give kibble too. That would be a good idea.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
We love that you're training your babies though.
Yes. Oh my gosh. On all the Facebook posts on the Kathy Santo groups, there's all these little puppies and I just love it so much.
And you know, people say this was a myth, and I think most people don't believe it now, but you can't train a dog till they're 6 months old.
Oh no.
I'm like, what?
Goodness.
That's like not training your kid until they're 13, right? Right in the middle of adolescence.
Yeah,
How's
no,
that gonna
you
go?
definitely want to come as soon as you get your puppy. It's always good to start right when you, like when the dog first walks in the house, you want to set the rules. You know, people think that training is just, you know, sit down, but you're setting the rules for your house, for everything.
And sometimes they give too much too soon. Like it's adorable and it's on their laps on the couch, and then 4 months later they're like, get off the couch, and the dog is like, dude, you raised me like this.
Right.
I'd rather you give them nothing and then build up to giving them things when they're trained.
Absolutely.
We also, if you don't believe us about training, check out all the service dog organizations. They're training their dogs at 8 weeks because
Absolutely.
they know there's a lot of stuff they have to get exposed to, and there's a lot of training that has to happen. And at 8 weeks, 9 weeks, they're sponges. Not that you can't train older puppies and dogs, you can. But you want to get a fast track through it, do it when they're babies.
Absolutely.
All right, so that is our little talk about jumping up. If Nancy's watching, happy birthday!
Happy
She's
birthday
You
again.
think she's watching on her
Yeah,
show?
definitely.
I think so too.
Yes.
She'll give us hearts. All right, if
Yes.
you need us, you know where to find us. We're at the school, and we will see you again next week.
Yep.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.